Hello, Philip coming to you from Chiang Mai, northern Thailand. Today I'm in my own little office at home, and you can see my bookcase, so I guess that gives me loads of credibility. Okay, today I read a post this morning, and it's one of my favourite themes. I call it the 5 pillars of society. And these 5 pillars give us an indication of how healthy or not a society is. So let's just read this to you and comment on it as I'm reading it. So the 5 pillars of a society. Strong pillars mean a strong society full of happy, healthy people. If the people are unhappy, unwell and struggling, and the society is in a total mess, the pillars must be weak, crumbling or collapsed. So let's have a look, see what you think. Pillar number 1, my favourite one, education. This pillar long ago collapsed into its footprint. The education business is run by control freaks and miserable ideologues, and it is anti-fun, anti-love, anti-human, anti-education. It hates children, so it seems. Pillar number 2, food, rather important. I put education number 1 because I think it is number 1, but obviously we need food first. So the second pillar is food. A sickly, weak pillar, barely standing in its own crumbled state. 90% of supermarket food is toxic, and a large portion of society's foods are called junk food. So this means humans are literally eating rubbish. Call it junk. Rubbish. Food corporations only make toxic foods full of INS numbers, just look on the ingredients, which used to be the old E numbers, but people started to learn about E numbers, so they changed them to INS. All of these INS things, they're all chemicals and they're all toxic to your organs and your bloodstream and your whole body and your mind. Chemicals definitely impact negatively on our mind and our mood. Therefore, we can declare the second pillar of food to be anti-health and anti-human. It does a very good job for the business of pillar number 3. Pillar number 3, medical care. Clearly and completely malfunctioning, as so many people are sick and unwell, and since 2020, when particles of things invaded the entire planet all at the same time, many are now dying out of the blue. The medical business is for profit and willfully refuses to heal people and teach them how to live with health. It expertly makes a new customer a repeat customer. It is anti-health, anti-life, anti-human. Pillar number 4, media. Mainstream media and big tech media provide a steady and continuous diet of censorship, misinformation, disinformation, bullshit and outright lies. They are the enablers and accomplices of all the powerful, wealthy psychopaths who have attacked all our pillars. The media are anti-truth, anti-integrity, anti-life, anti-love. They are first-class liars. And I grew up being told that we lived with freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of thought. Not anymore, even if it was. And the last pillar, the 5th pillar, the legal system. They are anti-justice, anti-human, anti-fairness. Another pillar that props up the psychopaths and dacoits in power. So there we have it, brothers and sisters. Looks like we have a bit of rebuilding work to do. And that's the key, isn't it? You know, if you agree to my main message that all 5 pillars are crumbling or are already broken, if we're to avoid going down with them, we have to rebuild all 5 pillars. So maybe I'll leave you with a thought. What's your area of expertise or preference or talents? Can you help rebuild education system? If so, join me, because that's my area. Can you somehow create good food or avoid buying the toxic foods? Can you get your foods, can you grow your foods? Can you get them from non-supermarket sources, you know, local farmers markets? Depends where you live. I live in Thailand and we've got thousands of markets all over the place. Local foods. They don't do supermarkets in Thailand. So it depends where you live, but you can grow your own food, and even if you live in an apartment in a city, there's hydroponics. So there's always ways if we want to do something different. Medical care, well, if you eat good foods, you probably won't need that 3rd pillar, and that's the key thing. Now, they may have some pills that help, and I'm not saying that all of the medical care is wrong and toxic, but it's built for profits, and the sicker we are, the more profits they get. Simple as that. But if you can eat good foods, healthy foods, whole foods, avoid all the corporate foods, nothing with INS numbers in it, no junk food, just good old-fashioned foods, and spend a bit of extra time every day preparing it or getting it together, you probably won't need medical care because you won't be sick. The media, well, nowadays with the internet, there's so much good journalism out there, citizen journalism they call it. The stuff that hasn't been censored by big tech, sometimes it's a bit of a cat and mouse job, but go for it. I think maybe in another video I should tell you what my sources are, but certainly the best platform I find for least censored amount of information is definitely Telegram, and I understand it's run by the Russians, so there you go. So that's the media. The justice system depends where you live, doesn't it? But if we're not lawyers, we can't really do much about that. Just keep away from the dacoits. Okay, have a very good day, and I'll be back another time.